Hey, thanks for joining me again. We're becoming like a family, aren't we? The ones that are here for the second, third, fourth, fifth time, and more. If this is your first visit, thank you for stopping by. You will notice that I don't have a written script, and I try to make it to where you understand where I'm coming from to help you. Today we're going to talk about how much booze can you drink each day. How much booze can you drink without it affecting your lifespan, your health, and all of that. Now, I've been working in addictions all my life, all my working life, okay? And having said that, I don't have all the answers, but I have some thoughts. I have some thoughts, and I'm going to share them. We're talking about, first of all, let's go with beer. 1, 2, or 3, but not over 4 was what I was taught when I first started training for licensure in addictions, alcohol and drug addictions. 1, 2, or 3, not over 4, because once you go over 4, you're headed toward maintaining the high. Now, let me tell you from experience what happens here. You've heard that alcohol is a stimulant, but no one's ever, I'm sorry, a depressant, but you've never heard anyone tell you that if you drink 1, 2, or 3, it could be act as a stimulant, and that's why you are able to break through when you're shy and talk to some pretty girl or some good-looking guy. You're loose. Your inhibitions. Now, having said that you break through your inhibitions because it's a stimulant at 1, 2, or 3. So you're freer to talk. It's not. It hasn't turned to the next stage, which is a depressant. After 4, let's say 1, 2. Actually, the doctors will tell you two's all that you should have on any one day, and not to drink every day. But you and I know people that do drink every day, and they drink more than 2 a day. And that's what I'm talking about tonight, because that's the type of people that I would try to help. Okay, now once we get to over 4, let's go from 4 to 6. Don't get in the car. Don't even get in the car to drive with 1. And let me tell you why. You don't have to have a .08 or .10. Most states have switched to a .08 alcohol level in your blood. All they have to do is say you're driving impaired, even with 1. If they smell it on your breath, you could get driving under the influence and end up in jail with 1 beer. Now that's rare. I've only seen that happen one time. And that was a special occasion I won't cover tonight, but it was because the person was supposed to be not drinking anything because they had had so much alcohol problems. So when they stopped the person, the police, and smelled the alcohol, it didn't matter if it was a half a beer. They weren't supposed to be drinking, and they went to jail. Now, otherwise, the alcohol blood level is 0.08. Doesn't mean you're not going to get one after one beer or two beers. And let me tell you why. If they get you out of your car, and if that particular officer says that you're impaired, you've got a problem, because you'll be transported to the sheriff's department or the police department for a breathalyzer test. Now, that doesn't necessarily get you out of trouble if you're only at 0.02 instead of 0.08, because they could say that you weren't able to handle what you did drink, and you were wobbling, crossing the line, almost hitting another car. They could write what they want to, can't they, on that police report? Okay, now I wanted to explain that, because most people think if they don't hit the 0.08 or 0.10, whatever your state is for drunken driving, that you're going to be okay. Not the case. Mostly the case. But not all policemen, not all sheriffs are the same. And if you've had prior events with the law, that's only going to enhance the possibility you'll be taken down to the pokey for some testing and some fines and to go to court. You may not go to jail for more than one night, but you'll probably be in jail one night if you didn't hit 0.08. But you got to get an attorney. Could be court-appointed attorney if you meet that criteria of not having enough money to hire an attorney. But what I'm telling you is the truth. Let me also say one thing. At this point, let's just talk about higher than 0.08, because if it's higher than 0.08, if it's 0.08, you're nailed. And when I say you're nailed, I'm saying you've got the DUI, driving under the influence of alcohol, or driving while intoxicated, whatever they want to put down. Now you've got to get an attorney to get any reasonable negotiation with the prosecutor and the judge. And money talks. The attorney you pick talks. It can make all the difference in the world. How much money and what attorney you use. I hate to say it, if you don't have the money and you don't have the right attorney, you might be sitting in the jail for 6 months or more. If you've got the money and a paid attorney who's known to do deals, be a deal maker, kind of like Trump, you might be out that night. You might not even spend a night in jail. You probably will, because the attorney will probably need to come to the jail to sign you out and all that. But one night would be the most, probably, if you had the money to get the right attorney. Okay, I've seen people from Indianapolis. I'm in Madison. Indianapolis is 2 hours away. I've seen them hire the right attorney, and they knew they were going to be in jail for a long time, but they had the money. They had the money to pay the attorney. I'm not going to say anything about how the money may have been split or used in the court system, but I do know this one guy that had a high alcohol blood level got out the next day and went to Indianapolis. Am I saying he paid his way out? No. I'm saying his attorney may have been friends with the judge and the prosecutor. We're talking about a family and friends discount. I've seen it with my eyes. I've seen another person totally drunk, and I was asked to go to the jail to evaluate him, and I did. It's a mental health professional. And he had schizophrenia. They were going to lock him up in prison, because this wasn't his first ball game. I went down there, and he started telling me that there is an implanted transmitter that's transmitting signals to his brain. Well, he had a diagnosis of schizophrenia, but it takes a bit to pull one over on me. And I was convinced his brain wasn't working right. So the next morning, this is the same attorney that got the guy out of jail the next day into Indianapolis, and all you had to do was go to court and pay a fee. Now, same attorney, he asked me, will you go down and see this person? I said, yeah. I did, and I said, the best thing I can do is show up with the judge and the prosecutor and you tomorrow morning, because he is not mentally fit to be sentenced. So I went there, and I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe the deal making. They said, come on into the judge's chambers. There was me. There was the attorney. There was the prosecutor and the judge. And I told them, he's not fit to make a decision or to be questioned. They said, can you get him into a mental hospital? And I said, yes, because he's got Medicare and Medicaid. He was on disability. He was bad off. He said, if you can get him into a rehab center for alcohol and drugs, we'll let him go. Well, at that time, it wasn't any problem because there were vacancies in the rehab centers that I used. So I got that nailed down. And he was sent out, and he didn't have to go to prison. What do you think about that? What if the attorney hadn't called me? Where would he have ended up? Now, I'm not any great therapist. I don't want you to think that I think that just because I say something after evaluating a person that is going to happen. The court system knew I was sincere, and I had been here, as of right now, around 30 years. So I was one of the few people that would see people with alcohol and drugs, and maybe the only person that would go to the jail to see them, to evaluate them, and the attorneys knew that. Now, let's go and leave that and say, I'll say one other thing. One person that got a DUI and he was in there for 6 months because he had no money and he had nothing but a court-appointed attorney. 6 months for the same thing. 6 months. And because he was old, he was being beaten by the younger guys. And I heard this, and there was nothing I could do. He wasn't my client to start with. His son was. And he told me he's being beaten by these young punks. So just take it from me. Have someone else drive if you drink anything. And I know better than to say that, because some of us may have a beer or two knowing we're not going to hit .08 at 2 beers. And we're going to hope for the best. Stay within the narrow lines of whatever lane you're in. Don't run through a yellow caution light just to get through it. No. Check your headlights if it's night, your turning lights. I'm saying this because there's people watching that's going to say, heck, I have a 6-pack of beer and drive. And I know people that do. I know personally, because I go to the restaurants and I watch them drink 2 or 3 pitchers of beer. I was at Boneyard yesterday, Harry's, and one of my friends was there, and I know he had already gone through 2 pitchers of beer. And I was just kidding. I told the waitress, I said, look, cut him off after 6. He'll get in trouble. Not 6 drinks, 6 pitchers. I was kidding, and everybody knew it. People people don't see me as an expert when I go in to eat at a restaurant in the bar area. Now, yes, I may have some booze, but my wife is with me and she drives. So I'll just share that. If you're going to go out, have a designated driver, as they used to call it. Be the one that drives. And let her buy whatever she wants to eat, and you pay for it. Let her get dessert and ice cream too, because she's going to drive you home and save you a ticket and jail time. Okay, we're going to shift over to wine. Same thing. 1.5 ounces of wine. No, 6 ounces of wine, 6 to 8, depending on if it's 8%, 6%, 11% alcohol. A lot of variance there, but you don't. The thought is don't go over 2 or 3 glasses of wine. And I hate to even say that. I should stay 2 or less glasses of wine. Normal glass being 6 ounces. Let's go to straight alcohol. 1.5 ounces is a drink. Rum, vodka, whiskey. 1.5 is a shot. Two shots, you start feeling pretty good. Maybe so good you might say, hey, can you top that off again? Or can I get a double? Okay, because it sneaks up on you. You don't feel drunk. You feel happy. Now, I'm saying all this to let you know that drinking the heavy stuff, even though it's I'll just say this, it'll get you in trouble easier because you'll lose count of how much you're drinking. And when you start ordering doubles, or if you're with a bunch of friends and you have single shot at a time, after 2 or 3 you forget how many you've had. And you think, man, I want to keep this buzz going. Wrong thing to think. All I'm saying is, after listening to what I've said, realize I've been in the center of it, not as a person that got locked up, but as a person trying to get people out of jail. And the guidelines I'm giving you are not to suggest that you should drink and drive. My suggestion is have someone that doesn't drink drive you. And I'm going to end with you with a true story. And the true story is that I'm at one of these bars and with my wife, and this man, here comes the cab. The cab brings the guy in. He drinks a lot. He goes back out when the cab comes back. And before the night's over, I hear he'll be back again, and the cab will bring him. And in between, he doesn't want to know how much, he doesn't want anyone to know how much he's drinking. So he's going to other restaurants and bars, but always takes a taxi. Now, what I can say here is he's not going to get locked up. He's not driving. The taxi is. But I will say, I have no idea how much damage he's doing to his body, because I don't know how much he's drinking at each bar. We'll end it there. I didn't quite know the direction I was going to go, but this may be important to one or two people out there. Feel free to leave any comments if you're still listening. God, I don't know why people want to listen to me. Take care. God bless you. We'll talk again very soon.